I would like to welcome everybody to a new episode of Jordans and Jazz. Uh, we're here in a new space, and we're definitely going to give you some new perspectives on sneakers, music, culture, and everything in between. To me, music and sneakers, I think, gets involved in a lot of aspects in our life, whether it's from working out or just everyday activities. We definitely want to put on a good pair of sneakers. And we're always, I think, listening to music, and music is always incorporated in everyday life, whether it's movies or TV shows or commercials, right? Uh, I think those things intertwine. So I definitely wanted to bring in some new perspectives and new ideas and talk about sneakers, talk about music, and other topics that may be coming up. I did want to get started with my kicks of the day. My kicks of the day, or my kicks that I'm wearing, the Jordan 1 UNC. Uh, I got these kicks, I don't know, a couple years ago. Definitely one of my favorite pairs. I like to wear it. Um, and I think how I ended up copping this pair is through the sneakers app. Now, if you're like me and you tried to cop sneakers, uh, you know, through the sneakers app or online because of the pandemic, I'm pretty sure that you had some frustration, especially over the past year. Even today, I ended up taking an L trying to cop a pair of sneakers. The Jordan 6 Travis Scott uh, Desert Khaki Jordan 6 that was released. I took an L. I was kind of disappointed on that. And throughout the the past year, and during the pandemic, we if you didn't have a bot, I think it was very difficult to buy shoes at retail, right? And so it was definitely frustrating. You knew that you would try to get on the sneakers app to try to get a pair of shoes, and you knew that you just hoped that you was gonna be able to get selected, but more than likely you ended up catching that L. And one thing that came out, with bots and the resale prices of sneakers, is one thing that I think that really frustrated a lot of people that that would try to cop sneakers is the story of the 19-year-old son of the the Nike executive who was running his retail or his resale business, his sneaker resale business, using his mom's corporate card. And I think that you were going through, you're at the end of the pandemic, you maybe were able to get shoes with, in the stores if you're lucky, but to find out that that there was that this was going on the whole time definitely frustrated a lot of people. That was Casamigos. Definitely sipping on some Casamigos. Uh, I like the tequila. Uh, if you're having a drink, just wanted to kick back, definitely go and pick up some Casamigos. This definitely is the best tequila out. But back to the frustration, I think, of being able to cop sneakers now in the pandemic. Um, what I've learned is, I think before the pandemic, you were able to the your sneaker collection. At least my sneaker collection, a lot of it had to do with my sneaker collection. was was a lot about, quantity. It was more about quantity. I was able to get, some quality shoes, but really the quantity because of the easy ways to be able to cop shoes, whether it was raffles through, the retailers, or also still being able to get through the sneakers app and be able to cop shoes during the pandemic. And I think moving on, it's definitely going to be about the quality, or what you really like, because you're going to be I don't know anybody that's really getting shoes at retail anymore. I think the only way to cop the shoes is through is through the resale. And even though I was thinking about getting those Jordan 6s, the Travis Scotts, but as I look up what the price is on that shoe. Well, let's just go back to a couple of the shoes I tried to. Of course, I tried to cop the Jordan 1 Hyper Royal shoes. Those are reselling, for right around $400. If I was gonna try to go ahead and look at the Travis Scott sixes, those, yeah, those are reselling for 650, 700. So it's definitely about quality, but I mean, a shoe for 750. I don't know, on my budget, the way my checking account is set up, my budget. That's gonna be the last shoe I buy for at least a couple months, until something. Until there's something that I really have to have, and I wanted this shoe, but I didn't necessarily have to have it. So my my sneaker collection, I think, after the after going moving forward, it has to be something that I have to have. Like, there's so now I have to limit right now with my purchases, on stuff that I have to have, not on something that I can just be like, oh yeah, let me grab that. It's retail. I can get that. But yeah, so right now, yeah, I'm definitely sticking to my must-haves. Like, absolutely, I can't pass up this release. No matter how I have to get it, I have to get it. But that's gonna be far and few between. Now, another story that came about within the last couple weeks, and I keep debating this, with my friends, and I definitely, would like to get, other people's ideas, about what's happening with. Well, let's take a step back. So back, I want to just a couple weeks ago, I want to say April 13th, April 14th, the the Nike deal between Kobe Bryant, right? So the deal between Kobe Bryant, the endorsement deal between Kobe Bryant and Nike, uh, expired. And so what so what I think is going to happen, and what other people think are going to happen, those are two different things. And kind of, so my take on it is that the the brand recognition, right? That when you think of Kobe Bryant shoes, you definitely think of Nike. Um, Me personally, I was never a fan of any of the shoes Kobe wore when he was with Adidas. Right? I don't know anybody that's waiting for Adidas to release the Kobe Bryants. Now, that's not saying that Vanessa Bryant is going to then work out a deal with Adidas, and they're going to start releasing the Kobe shoes through Adidas again. But I'm just thinking, but the two deals that Kobe had was, his first contract was with Adidas, and then with Nike. But Kobe's shoe, and when he got up to his peak of of fame was when he was wearing Nikes, and the brand recognition is, I think, is strong. When you think of Kobe's, you think of Nike, and when you think of Nike, I mean, there's a couple people that come to mind, and the big three, right? Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. Now, I mean, there's other people that have a signature shoe, but my friend was telling me, I had a friend telling me that I think they read that the the percentage of NBA players that are wear that 28% of NBA players wear the Kobe Bryant Nike shoe, which is, I mean, that's a pretty big, that's a pretty big chunk of players, right? So with with the contract expiring, what's going to happen, right? Because you need people to continue to wear that shoe, especially people that are in the spotlight wearing that shoe every night. One person I can think of is Anthony Davis, playing for the Lakers in a championship, wearing the Kobe Bryant, wearing the Nike Kobe Bryant shoe. Like that's big. So I think that's pretty huge. So of course, I mean, there's two things to consider, right? And so one of the reasons why what I read is one of the reasons why the contract expired is because uh, Vanessa didn't feel that the contract that Nike offered initially was in line with a lifetime contract that other athletes received. One would be Michael Jordan, the other one would be LeBron James. And she didn't feel that, well, they didn't say she didn't feel, I think they said the state, which of course is, I mean, so either way, that the side didn't feel that, or didn't think that the contract was in line with a lifetime deal. So I now, of course, I mean, it's a business. Everybody's in it for, everybody's got to make some money, and you definitely want to walk away with, the best deal possible. Nike wants to walk away with their best deal possible, and Vanessa needs to walk away with her best deal possible. So I mean, I get that. My thing is the brand recognition. Now, another thing about so I talk about this brand recognition, right? So there there are there are three pieces to this that each one is a brand within itself, right? Kobe Bryant is his own brand. Nike, they are their own brand, and the NBA are their own brand. The but the key pieces, two of those pieces are have a contract together, meaning that the NBA and Nike have a contract. Well, of course, I mean, Kobe Bryant doesn't have an NBA contract anymore, but but Nike's or Kobe being associated, but Kobe is associated with those two brands, and so splitting from that, which, I mean, essentially he would be splitting not only from Nike, but because Nike has a contract, an apparel contract with the NBA, he essentially is then also splitting from the NBA. And so there's other things at play other than just the money. And so the money is one piece, but the money is not everything. Okay? I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody would like to have their more than their fair share of money. What's this, it's like kind of how much how much more money do you need? Well, I need more money. There's never you never have enough money. right? I mean, money is a resource. You never have enough resources, right? However much resources you have, you're going to want more resources. Okay. You never have enough resources. You never have enough money. But there's other things that go into it, is meaning that the consumer, right? The consumer of these products, the consumer of the NBA, the consumer that consumes Nike, the consumer that consumes Kobe shoes through Nike, the consumer connects Kobe with the NBA. They connect Kobe with Nike. So splitting with that is now you're asking the consumer to make a change and make a connection with another brand. Okay, which can be done. So Kobe's estate owns the Mamba logo and his signature that is on the shoe. So a piece with that is being that Kobe owns that, right? So he can still take that brand. So the Mamba brand is going to be able to go wherever Vanessa wants to take it. That's always going to be there. Okay, so they're going to own that. Uh, even I think even today, Vanessa Bryant released it was the Mambasita apparel, and 100% of the proceeds, as I read it, were going to go to the Mamba and Mambasita uh, Foundation. So they so don't get me wrong, like Kobe's brand is strong, right? So when you hear Mamba, you definitely do think of Kobe, and you do think of Gigi when you think of Mamacita. Like those are going to be, you know, strong brands. That's apparel, but we're talking about sneakers, and how that affects the sneaker culture and people who consume those sneakers. So, a couple things to think about. I definitely, would like to follow this story. Those are That's definitely a story that I'm going to be following. I don't know about you. So, as I wrap it up, uh, again, I should be coming back. This is definitely going to be a weekly podcast where we talk about, like I said, we're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about sneakers, uh, and everything in between. Go ahead and subscribe to the Jordans and Jazz YouTube channel. You can also catch the podcast anywhere where you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can catch the podcast there, and we'll be back next week. Just remember, keep your groove tight and your kicks fresh. Peace.